Yeah, and I think that you are getting to the point that we want to share, that is the good news,
Hmm.
right? That so here's the reality. We have our leadership practitioners that are exasperated, we have our leaders that are exasperated, and we have our businesses that are exasperated. Okay, so how do we move from exasperation to exhilaration, right? Even just saying the
Hmm.
word, it just, like it
Yep.
just lifts you up, because there are so many possibilities, and there is a way to do that you really just kind of started us on the conversation. We have to build the connection between the leader and the business, between those competencies and behaviors and the business practices that ultimately drive results, so that we can turn around those articles. I can't wait for the day that the article is written where it says 75% of leaders found a connection to between
Yep.
training and their business impact. Like, that's goosebumpy for me.
Yep.
And it can happen if we take these steps to build the connection between the leader and the business. And I think it means something for each of the three entities that we've been chatting about. All can move from that exasperated feeling to exhilaration. So let's maybe, in the minutes that we have left, go back and visit our leadership practitioner, our business, or I'm sorry, our leader and our business, and say, okay, well, how could that happen? So I'll hop in with the practitioner. So
Yep.
again, we have to connect those competencies and behaviors and business practices to drive that business impact. It takes both to create lift, and it's a little bit like a butterfly. And I've got my homemade prop.
Prop.
So here you go. I'm on a bit of a walkabout, so I don't have access to colored paper and things like that you've seen before. So this is really old school. But when you think about, if you think about building leader excellence in terms of a butterfly, we've got leadership excellence and we have our business excellence. And quite frankly, a butterfly can't take off and get lift without both sides of their wings, right? They both have to work together to get lift and move the butterfly. Same too with leadership excellence. As we think about building that as practitioners, it's going to take us focusing on the great work we've been doing from a leader perspective, but also sharpening our skill set to build our expertise in business excellence as well. So again, to move from exasperation to exhilaration from a leadership practitioner perspective, it's going to mean that we ourselves have to build that connection and have to build that understanding that we may not have had in the past. We have a lot of expertise in the competencies and behaviors from a leadership development perspective. We may not have that same expertise on the business side and business excellence. That doesn't mean that we can't build that. And in fact, that's the way that we need to go in order to be able to help our leaders do exactly what you talked about earlier, to help them be able to come back from an experience and know, how does this fit into the practices that I need to be engaged in in a consistent manner, in order to drive results in my business. It's both and at the same time. And it's how we finally develop programming that moves the needle. It's how Sarah is going to be able to leave her next session and go, nailed it. They know what to do. They
Yeah.
can now make an impact. And that is exhilarating.